So what's up? What's up, everyone? It's me. It's me, the one and only, the quiet guy, the guy that no one really cares, who's always lurking in the chat rooms. Yeah, that's right. It's me, True Star Screamer. Um, and it is a quiet Saturday night with no 3POA, so I figured, what the hell? Let's throw the camera on out there. The invite is out on the web page on there. If you want to get in here, I'll send you a link. I got it already copied and pasted. I can control V it to anybody. So you can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Facebook Messenger. Let me know. We'll come in. We'll talk toys. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Instagram on here. So I know I've got the chat ready to go in case anyone wants to catch my attention. It's just a quiet night, and there's some cool things going on. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up, let's see, find my figures, get that locked up on here. I'm going to go ahead and present, share screen, Instagram. Yeah. Yep. There's Rowdy Riles, by the way. She rocks with the on the Tuesday Night Crew. Please check out her channel, Rowdy Riles, on Instagram. And we want to get this Figure Fight Club, take photography. We can only find my figures because they were up at New York Toy Con, and those girls always got some cool stuff going on. There they are, hanging out with the man, the myth, the legend, Ninja. But I'm going to keep an eye on the comments if anyone's watching, which I don't think anyone's in here right now. Oh, 3 people watching. Hello, say hi. Feel free to drop a line in. And if you want in, let me know. I will send you a link. But there's some neat things out there. Apparently, this is now out at Target. What is up, Abby? It's just a quiet night. Like I said, that was a fantastic show. Okay, I'm going to say this. If you guys did not catch Figure Fight Club last night, do yourself a favor. You should absolutely watch that replay. He did one of the best interviews with Bobby Valla I have ever heard, because he asked some questions that I think a lot of us have always wanted to know about Bobby. From his time at Hasbro, the breakdown, early stuff at Fisher-Price. I never knew he worked at Fisher-Price. And he talked about the fateful day, why he got let go. And I can't tell that story. You have to go watch that on the Figure Fight Club channel. Give that a like, give him a subscribe, and join his channel. He just does some really cool stuff. And of course, you can catch me there on Tuesdays. Just like you can catch me every Thursday on the Figure Action Podcast. Check out that channel as well. So, what is up, Adam? Hey, it's good. This guy Adam right here has fed me more figures than my wife would care to know about. Well, she knows, because I get that box from him every now and then. I actually just got this guy from Loose Collector from him. Review coming up on my channel. I will absolutely say probably the best Loose Collector figure that I own. What is up, Toyomic Displays? Glad if you guys could join here tonight. Again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're just going to kind of build up the view box, the viewing on here. Because, got to have the watch hours as well. And like I said, there's nothing else really going on tonight, because everybody is either chilling up at New York Toy Con or just taking the night off. So, Trey. Oh, there he is. Trey from Toyomic Displays. Also, you can catch him on the Action Figure Alliance, another very good show. There's just too many damn good shows on YouTube. Plain and simple. That's kind of thing. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't do these live casts that often, because there's just too much stuff that I want to watch. So I don't have time doing this. But if you want me to do more of these, tell me in the comments. hit that. That's the best way of doing it. Tell me on my videos. Go check out some of my reviews if you have. You know what? Hunting is a hard thing to do. I've tried doing it in my area, and the Greensboro area, the shelves are just damn empty. I'm sorry. If stuff comes in, it goes out. For those of you in the North Carolina area, the North Carolina Underground Toy Swap is having their event at Cro-Mag Toys in Raleigh, one of the best vintage stores in the area. I miss going to that place. Rodney, thank you for your time. I don't think I've ever caught you in my chats or my comments. So if you are new, thank you. I appreciate that. And Max, I ain't doing much. If you are bored, if you want in, I can send you a link because this man here is another member of the Tuesday Night Crew. In fact, I'm going to go send it to him right now. This guy right here, awesome tattoo artist. He rocks a fez like nobody should. I think he does it better than Matt Smith does, and that's saying something. So, but he's asking what I'm doing. I'm killing time. Ooh, he's going to be joining us. This guy's fun. And see, yeah, Rodney, that's awesome. I've been here. I lived in the Raleigh area. I moved down there in 2018. I moved up to Greensboro in 2020. Retired tattoo artist. Legions Con is a fantastic topic. I right now did buy my tickets. I did book my hotel, and it's just figuring out how I'm going to get up there. If I'm going to hitchhike, I can't take a train. Hopefully I can get a real ID between now and then, though, dear God, the plane tickets are expensive as hell, but I sure as hell ain't driving up there. I ain't doing no tolls, and I am driving in that car by myself. Carpooling is an option if I can find the right people. So, this is interesting, because I'm usually, and Adam, if you are going, you and I are getting a beer. Mind you, when I go to Legions Con, I think I'm getting a lot of beers and a lot of toys, which is going to be fun. What else? This has been an interesting, just because I still have this on my table here. I'm still deciding if I want to keep these guys. So, this is definitely an interesting figure. Like I said, I actually did have to fix the joints on these. I did put a key in a lot of these things. This is made by Morphonauts, and I get the love that the guy put in here. I do actually have a full review on the channel, but for those of you who are curious about them, the biggest detriment is he put ball joints on everything, which unfortunately the tolerances aren't quite the best. But when you have something like this that can help add to the tolerance, because that's what we need more in this world, just more tolerance. For you 420 friendly fellows, we need more tolerance for joints. Okay, that was fun. That was stupid. I'm sober. It's been a long day. Yes, I know you'll be, and he will. Figure Fight Club will also have a table up at IshCon, which is one of the coolest conventions of the North Carolina area that I have been wanting to get to, and hopefully will finally be getting to. Which Bobby will have an exclusive for that Bobby could not pry out of him on camera. Let me put it that way. I personally have a feeling Abby knows what the IshCon exclusive is. But he ain't going to tell anyone because Abby's trustworthy. God damn it. But we do have a special guest here. That's right. We have, normally in the garb of the 10th Doctor, we actually have the 7th Doctor here.
Hello, boys and girls. Buy it. It's a wonderful toy. You need it. You want it. Max Achillian says buy it. Buy it today. Buy it from Abby. You need it. Thank you. How you doing, son? How you doing? You having a good day?
And we just lost 3 viewers. No, I'm kidding. Max, it is... I'm going to say this. crossing paths.
Max Achillian. I left Max Millions in the other room. That's you're thinking of my twin brother. He's down south. I stay up here in North Jersey.
Jersey, right? Not Jizzy.
Yeah, Jersey.
That explains the
Got a cousin who got a nice little place. You come see the ladies, give them $1 if you like them. You got some toys? You want to talk about toys? Buy the toys. All wonderful. Maximum Spider-Man. Don't listen to none of them people. Give them $60. Throw in another 10. You know, Maximum Hulk, $80 easy. All day long, people.
And you know what? He's not wrong on that one. If you want the figure, buy the damn figure.
Buy it.
As you know, we joke about that one, but at the same time, I'm gonna first to say, I will never slap the figure out of somebody's hand saying, "Why the hell are you buying that?" I might laugh at them if it's a Super 7 figure later, but
what happened?
Can I get back to saying that I've appreciated crossing paths with you?
Yeah, well, you know, few do. I mean, many do.
Oh man, and you know what? I'm sorry I missed that one video that you invited me to the other week. It was just I was passing out asleep, so I figured I had to at least.
Oh, hey, listen, I've been. Yeah, I have hair. What about it? It does some stuff occasionally. There we go. Getting proper character here.
I did not talk trash about Super 7. As I said, I would never. If someone wanted to buy it and they wanted to enjoy it, I would wish them the best. I might snicker about them later, but I will never deprive somebody of something they enjoy.
I will. Friends don't let friends buy Super 7. Just say no, okay? Nancy Reagan, she taught us the way to go. Just say no. All right?
I have read things about Nancy Reagan that I wish I never read about.
I met her psychic one time.
That is a sentence in my life I never thought I would hear.
Oh, yeah. Listen, there's one day some files are going to come out and people are going to learn things about that administration, how almost every decision made was made through Nancy Reagan's psychic, because Ronnie was somewhere.
I was going to say, I thought a lot of decisions were made just from a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
Dr. Roxo reference, folks. We got one.
Man, listen. So we found termites in my house today. And hopefully, yeah, you never get rid of them. So it's Louisiana. But what I did find was a monumental stack of heavy metal magazine.
That's fucking
I'm rich,
cool.
bitch.
It's like what, ones that you bought years ago and just forgot about?
Yeah, this is a collection I'd had, and I tried to give to my kid. And today she was just like,
that would have been kind of.
Yeah, I don't want this perv shit. Please take it. Get it out of my room. So. Oh, she said with pouty face that she's just making sure they weren't eaten. So, all right. I guess I'm poor again. She's going to take them back.
Man, I remember when because remember, I'm old, but I'm not quite as, I'm still younger than you, but I am old. I remember when heavy metal was re-released on VHS. And
oh, the original?
Somehow my dad thought I would enjoy it.
And he was right, wasn't he?
I was 12.
Yeah, so you really enjoyed it.
There was some. That was. If you have never seen the original Heavy Metal, ladies and gentlemen, soundtrack is amazing. Voice cast incredible. There was a lot of drugs involved in that, in the making of it.
Dude, you had Harold Ramis in one of the scenes was like just doing massive lines of space cocaine. Hey, listen, that was that whole. Yeah, I mean, you think about the people involved with that. You had almost all of Second City improv group. You had John Candy, Harold Ramis. I think even Rick Moranis was in there. Yes. The cast, the ensemble that they put together is just.
We got a topic.
People know. I want to say this. People talk about movies. It pisses me off. People talk about, oh, they can't make that movie today. You know what movie they couldn't make today?
I got a list.
Heavy Metal, the original.
That's true.
And Kevin Eastman, he damn well tried, and he didn't try very hard, or he'd have listened to Simon Beasley a lot more with that Fact 2. Fact 2. Hold on, I think it's on one of the back covers. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to have been, and then we got the crap. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything bad about that movie, because anything that employs Michael Ironsides is A-okay in my book.
That dude can eat up. That guy can just monologue. Let him monologue.
Him and the guy who's plays all the Star Trek characters, and the Reanimator. What's his name? I know you know.
I do know now. You know, normally I'd be saying I'd be all over mentioning his name, but now of course I'm blanking on it because.
Yeah, I'm totally spacing it. Come on, chat. Where you at?
Why am I God damn it! He's actually. He's one of those people I can knock his name out anytime. Oh my gosh. Man. There we go.
Jeffrey Combs.
Thank you.
No.
Yes, Jeffrey Combs. It's Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Thank you, Rodney. Thank you. Did you know he was even in a Transformer cartoon?
Oh, yeah. Dude, tell me something. The list of what he hasn't been in is shorter than what he has.
He was in a freaking episode of CSI just because, like a random bit character. Okay, so
the show he probably they're probably about to cancel, and they were like, "Listen, we need to bring in Jeffrey. He's going to help you. Listen to him, and the show. I guarantee you'll get another season." And what happened? There you go. Bring in Jeffrey. Everything's right.
So let's talk about things that had better cast than they had any right to be. You're the type of person I could have this conversation with because you've absorbed almost as much media as I have. Or maybe I've almost absorbed as much media as you have.
I am a sponge. When it comes to movies and shit, I am.
I'm actually really looking forward to having this right here.
Towel broke me today. I'm hurting, man.
So are you and Talib doing setting up your guys on little cast there?
Yeah, we did a little thing. It was blockheads playing with blocky figures. It was pretty fun.
I need to get me some blockies.
Well, come do it, and then come be a blockhead.
Okay, I'll have to consider that one. So like, when I talk about things that have better cast than they had any right to be, are you a Turtle fan at all?
That depends. Now you asked that question in 2025, and that is a broad question. I like the Nickelodeon CGI?
Did you watch the Nickelodeon CGI?
Absolutely. Fantastic.
That was exactly what I was going to go to. If that had possibly one of the greatest voice casts ever done.
Absolutely.
Period.
You put Jean-Luc in it. Done. Good.
It had David Tennant. It had freaking
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
that.
David Tennant was the time traveling Fugitoid. You had Michael Dorn. You had Machete, Danny Trejo in it.
Yeah.
And it also, the best thing I loved about that show, at one point they changed out the voice actor for Leonardo. It was Jeffrey Biggs, and it went to oh God, I can't remember who it went to, or maybe it was the other way around. But when they changed
my
the
God,
voice actor for Leonardo in that show,
They
for an
did
episode,
live action Blunt Man and Chronic voices in that movie. That Jason Biggs, isn't that?
No, that's Jason Mewes.
No. Live action Blunt Man and Chronic.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
Anyway,
If I throw references, you got to get them.
But I loved how when they changed the voice actors, they literally throat punched Leonardo in the show, had him with a bandage around his neck for 2 episodes, and then gave him the new voice actor, and they're saying, "Man, you sound funny after that." Like they actually.
Well, now see, I haven't got to see a lot of the animated series. I just saw the movie.
Here's the thing. The Nickelodeon, one thing that made that Nickelodeon show, though, was it was made by people who were fans of the Turtles, that they actually did dimensional hopping where they went into the 1980s cartoon and even crossed into the original Mirage comic. And when the 80s cartoon characters saw the Mirage Turtles, they ran for their damn lives because they were scared as hell out of them. And I love that.
That was, yeah, I would have dug that because I started issue 1 Mirage.
Oh,
I had all those comics. I had to drive. I grew up in the panhandle of Oklahoma, and it was a 360-mile drive to Amarillo, where the nearest comic book shop was.
Oh dear God!
Yeah. So they had it was a little shit mall. The only reason worth going there, that you had to give up going to the good mall to go to the shit mall because that's where the comic shop was.
Right.
And he always had the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics for me. So that was, God, I miss having those comics.
Again, things my dad didn't quite realize at the time, because the Turtles were big. My dad went to a bookstore and he got a turtle graphic novel, not the Archie one. Again, so 5th grade David, his first exposure to the Turtles was the original graphic novel. And then after,
you want to talk about something that's jacked up in price too.
But mine's gone. It was torn up because I had it. But after reading that, I could never watch the 80s cartoon and enjoy it. I was like, this is stupid as hell. These guys should be freaking gutting.
Yeah. Ditto. 100%. That's, and just, yeah. I never understood that. I mean, I get it. That it was money. There was so much. I never understood how either one of them have ended up broke.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, there's no reason. They had so much revenue coming from Turtles.
Well, Eastman
and
did
it was
the whole
coming
thing.
from everywhere.
Eastman had bad investments, like buying heavy metal and running it to the ground, but
oh yeah.
I will also say, now I never got a chance to finish the run, but I was reading that IDW run, that recent IDW run, and that one also impressed the hell out of me because it was literally, hi, let's rewrite the Turtles as a better story in modern times, and they did it beautifully.
Well, the only problem that you had with the original Turtles was
they had no story.
It was almost just a 4-issue miniseries.
Oh yeah, no,
because
was.
And after then the first 4 issues, they killed Shredder. Story's done. Revenge is had. And then they come back with the Mousers and Baxter Stockman and all that. But
and then it was just basically just a run of stories. It never had a continual.
Yeah. So
I remember
that,
reading.
but it's still that it ruined. I had a point and it totally I blanked it. See, thank Talib for that one.
Oh, they actually had. I remember reading one of the darkest comic book stories ever from one of those. It was actually the one Jim Lee did the art for, which I didn't realize.
Is that the one with the gas guzzlers?
No,
And the
one
hot rodders and
worse. It's the one with the guy who called himself the Turtlenator, who basically was. He basically got beaten by the turtles, and then went nuts. Went to a gun store, bought a whole bunch of weapons, and was hallucinating that everybody was a turtle, and he was trying to kill everybody who was a turtle. And he was going like all Punisher style, and then finally he goes into the turtle lair, and Splinter grabs him, and he just says, "Leonardo, guys, leave him alone. He's your brother, after all." And the guy's like, "What do you mean?" He starts asking him all these questions. He's like, "Well, obviously you're a turtle." And the guy looks in the mirror and he sees himself as a turtle and then just paints the ceiling.
See, you want to talk about something that would never get published today.
I'm still trying to track down that issue just because of the traumatic memory.
That's good writing. And they always had. Even though they never really had.
Watching. I appreciate all three of you. Just want to say.
They'll get here. So what did I heard you say something? 3POA isn't on tonight?
No, they're not. 3POA isn't on tonight, so that's why this is the whole just winging it. I am literally just doing that.
Yeah, everybody's fishing for those subs.
No one else is doing anything right now.
Come on, Abby, spread the word. Look, I'll even get I'll get your sticker in the shot. There you go.
You're affiliated. You see, the problem is
you ain't got a sticker.
I want to buy something from Abby so I could get a Figure Fight Club sticker, but he keeps selling the stuff, so I never know what he has to buy it.
I forgot I won this.
On the bike. That was quick shit.
I had no idea. It showed up in the mail today, and I was like, fuck it. I didn't buy a bicycle. Is this one of those Amazon things where... And then I saw the Figure Fight Club sticker, and I'd been messaging Talib, and I was like, did I win something the other night? And then I remembered. Yeah, I got a bicycle. I was hoping that he would forget I won this and send me the 3-wheeler that I really wanted.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to Cro-Mag next week. It's on a Saturday, and I work every Saturday. I mean, I've only been able to go to one of the underground toy swaps, and that was the one in Thomasville. That was on a Sunday. I was very happy for that, but unfortunately, no, I will not be able to go to that. Saturdays are because I am in sales, and I need to be at the store where the most people show up. So I am going to I've told you I am going to IshCon. I've requested those days off. I have to. So that is on the books because I'm going to try to get the hotel room, stay the night for at least Friday night and Saturday. I'm not going to be able. I am working Sunday, so I won't be able to go all of those. Hey Max, you're gonna go? The audience wants to know if you're gonna be going to DFW.
Fuck yeah, I am.
He must have just called DFW Valicon. He's taking it over. Seriously,
man, I can't wait that man. You got the panel show. What I'm looking forward to. They've got a thing they do there where they put you got a bunch of G.I. Joe parts and you get to assemble some vehicle or something like that, some little panel with that, and then
that's
you
what
got
I'm looking
Bobby's
forward to with
panel.
Legion's Con.
I bet that's a whole nother level right there.
The thing that got me most about Legion's Con was actually listening to Bobby Vela after last Legion's Con. I think that's the most humble I've ever seen him when he was talking about his experience there.
It was, listen, you start getting into Legions, Figure Obscura, or Cosmic, or even the Savage, man, you want to talk about
Savage?
a fandom.
Figure Obscura.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got it here.
Hey, Lou. Speaking of winners, hey, I'll trade you. I'll trade you my Obby prize for your Obby prize.
Yeah, but yours is actually 112 scaled.
What? I thought he got the. Didn't he get the Steel Brigade?
Oh, never mind. Yeah. Dude, you should totally turn that bicycle, put flames on there, and make like a cheap ass Ghost Rider on a bicycle.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. I may send it to. I don't know. Obby send it to me. I got a thing about gifts, so gifts don't. God, they're gonna be like, was Max a hoarder? No, people just kept sending him shit, and he didn't get rid of it.
Apparently, he got the Pandora. So.
Oh, he got the Pandora. Well, that's still a good figure anyway. So.
I still have her in plastic. I got my bloody Pandora still. I just keep that on hand. Just for
I've never gotten any of the 1/100s. I don't even think about it. It's out of my mind because the minute I think it might happen, it's still not going to. The universe is going to be against me.
I mean, bought way back when I didn't win it, but I bought 3 Bone Collectors, and the reason was because I figured out exactly how I was going to repurpose 2 of them. And that because as soon as I saw the picture where the Bone Collector could actually fit the regular Garrison Cavalry helmet, I literally took 2 Garrison Cavalries, and I switched their helmets. So now I have a heavy weapons Garrison Cavalry, and the goat skull is on the other Garrison Cavalry, which is now basically my elite guard that flanks Bone Collector too.
That's one thing that I'm kind of sad about. I do own the prototypes, Series 1 prototypes.
Oh, you bought those?
And
cool.
Yeah, and they've got all the accessories that come with them. All are really cool colors, and I'm just like, I can't open these. I can't open these.
I actually call that. I came up with an expression for that years ago because I still have plenty of stuff I've never opened up just because of time and things like that. And it was the last TFCon I went to. I grabbed a whole bunch of Transformers that I never opened from the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally had them for so long that they appreciated in value so much I didn't dare ever open them. And I'm like, I'm never going to enjoy them. And I literally said, I just got cucked by these figures because I can only sit and look but never actually touch. And so I just sold them off. And that's exactly it.
I had the same problem with a lot of my War for Cybertron. Yes. I had all 3 sets. And I had the Phantom Brigade with the Cybertronian Skywarp. Mm-hmm. At the time that I got it, and I got it for a good price, it was selling for, I think it hit its high mark at about $545, $560, something like that. It was up there, and I was just like, the one figure I want to put on shelf, and I can't open this box. And that's what the problem I got with a lot of those War for Cybertron figures.
Yes,
I had massive Dallas Vintage Toys. They were like, did you open any of these? And I was just like, no, it's the reason I'm selling them. I can't open them. They're worth too much. And the ones that I did have open, they damn sure proved to me that they ain't worth shit. So that's why, like my G.I. Joes, if I'll order an extra one, if I don't want to open one, other than that, it's getting open. It's going on the shelf. So
for me, so in the year 2020, I lost my job and I ended up having to move.
I think that's everybody on the planet.
Right, but I ended up picking up a lot of stuff. So for a while, I was living in an apartment and things like that. Then I got into the house. Then when I got into this house, this basement flooded. So even though I unpacked the collection, I had to pack it back up. So essentially, for a good 9 months,
You gotta let him breathe.
Yeah, for a good 9 months, I had figures, but I never could open them because I never could put them on the shelves or anything. And but then other stuff was purchased. It got backburnered. Like long story short, I never ended up opening all those figures. And then by then, it was like, dear God, the value skyrocketed on them. I just sold a Earth.
So now you still can't open them.
I just sold an Earthrise Thrust that was a Target exclusive for $120. It's like it was the best investment I ever made, but I'm sad I never got to enjoy any of these figures. I sold the Sunstreaker, never opened Sideswipe, never opened. These were like excellent Transformers, and I used to be one of the biggest Transformers fans at all.
Walgreens edition of Ratchet. Ooh.
Yeah.
Those things were $150 in the box.
And I hate
they were $100 out of the box.
I've pretty much stopped buying Transformers because it's like because I spent so long without ever actually handling one.
That's
like, for example, right now
that's kind of my
I've got all 5 Dinobots still mint sealed in box because I don't dare open them.
That's why I let everything go. When I had a U-Haul, one of the small U-Haul trucks, just full to the brim. And
I'll say this, that is one of the nice things about some of these higher end figures, because you got the blister boxes and things like that. You can open it, you can mess with it. Then if you want to sell it, you can say it's handled in a non-smoking home, and people will still buy it as long as you got the package and everything.
Hey, I got a year of house payments for that. But really what it was for me is especially with the Transformers, all in and out of box aside, it kept me sane during lockdown.
What's up, Woody? Thank you. Appreciate.
My wife, we were pretty much 18 months stuck in this fucking house. Because, I wasn't doing well. My wife, they were like, if you go outside, you're going to die. So, it was still being able to go and find all those, Amazon, Walmart, Target, every different place. It was a good adventure that kept me a little bit sane. That's always a quirky,
except for that Viper Island
adventure.
Bullshit.
But what? Yeah, you mean the Cobra Island?
Cobra Island, yeah. Sorry.
For the G.I. Joes. Yeah, I was still talking about Transformers, but yeah, I think the only one of those Cobra Island ones, and yes, Viper Island is bullshit. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Sorry.
But the Cobra Island, the only one that I had to buy on the side was Major Blood. And even then, $45 for a $20 figure. It sucked. It was a bite, but now the only people I have to fight to get their toys is Hasbro.
I'm still fucking pissed off in that Crystal Ball.
I haven't got a cancellation yet, but they've damn sure pushed me back until I think October.
I just, like I said, I had it in my cart. I hit put it in there, and all of a sudden it was not in my cart. I'm like, what the fuck, you bastards?
I'm debating on whether any of that happens, and whether we just all of a sudden a bunch of crystal balls, we don't see them for a year, because we should have had them by now.
Well,
they were supposed to ship
August,
May, or August.
No, April, May. Sorry, April. I remember.
Yeah, April. That. Yeah, April, May. I thought. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to my Walmart app right now, and I still have him favorited just in case he ever appears in a store. Every now and I look at just to say, "Where are you?" And
I've been told that, I mean, I got 2 of them. So and they're still sitting in my my orders. But
I got 2 words. I got 2 words for you. PayPal ready.
PayPal ready.
Just saying.
I mean, they've already pulled that. That's the thing about Walmart and Target. They pull that money immediately, so they got paid.
Yeah, well, I ordered way back when the Marvel Legends Venom exclusive from Walmart.
Yeah.
Mine got lost in the mail. And then they just had to refund
somebody
me.
saw that Hasbro label on the side of the box, and that thing's sitting in some UPS driver's kid's bedroom. That's what
yeah, I got this notification saying you got delivery. I'm like, no, I didn't. So
yeah.
610. Thank you so much. More Tuesday night crowd. You guys normally in the audience on there. Again,
Holy crap. Yeah, we got everybody here tonight. I
appreciate everyone who's shown up. This is a big deal. It's not a big deal, but it's a big deal to me. So Saturday night.
Woody. I'm just saying hi to Woody.
So are you? I forgot. Are you a big DC guy or not? DC Comics fan or not?
I used to be big into the Batman comics. Not a. I mean, yeah, I like my Snyderverse, but not really big into live action.
Oh no, not that. No. I'm talking comic books. Comic books.
Oh yeah, I had Batman going all the way back to issue 11.
Our favorite Colombian.
Hey, Dins.
Did you read Secret Six?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because also I put this up today. Alan Richardson, the Reacher. People have been saying that how he wants to play Batman, and people say he would be a good Batman. I blatantly am going to say no, because there is a better character for him, and that is the modern Catman. You see, the problem is you haven't read Secret Six, but Secret Six did the most amazing thing. They took the character Catman and made him relevant. They made him into a badass. They made him into... Dude, you do not understand. He and Deadshot had the best bromance going on.
Let me tell you a little bit of what I know about the Catman stuff that's happening right now. So, Catman is public domain, or was for a long time. And DC has every right to use that and make their own iteration of it. But, it's a little funny that right after Austin McConnell started doing his Zeroverse, and have you seen his Catman animation?
No, I have not. But DC's been doing the Catman character as this badass since the 2000s.
Oh yeah, Austin's got him beat on dates.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's a little. I'm just gonna say it's a little suspicious. Right after he started doing it, within 6 months, DC did.
Well, I'm just saying they did a great job. Wait. If you ever look at him, Alan Richardson would make the perfect Catman. They got him. I can
see that. I mean, I'm familiar with Catman as a character. Even the old stuff.
The old one was one thing, who had the Catmobile and all that stuff. We're talking who's the Batman wannabe.
The Catmobile.
It was cool. They did the great job. If he sold all his riches, he hit rock bottom. He knew that all of a sudden that he was I'm a joke, and then he pretty much went to Africa and literally ran with the lions for a year, and he just became
you seriously need to check out the Austin McConnell YouTube. I think you'll like what you see, especially with what he's doing with Catman and a bunch of the other. He took a mess load of public domain figures, Catman and a few of the others, and is putting together something pretty neat.
Did you ever read the Dynamite Comics Superpowers?
That sounds familiar. You talking about the like the DC superpowers?
No. He in Dynamite Comics did this. They took a ton of the public domains and they got Alex Ross to help with the art on it. And basically, it wasn't done by Mark Waid, but they kind of kingdom come to the entire thing where, like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
and it had the death-defying Daredevil in it. It had the Green Llama in it. Like, it may, if you wanted to really like, but you're talking about these public domain characters. They did some amazing stuff with that.
I love pre-code comic character names. They're just
Well, one of my
you can't beat them.
One of the reasons that got me into this, a little bit of origin of True Star Screamer, my middle school also actually had the big encyclopedia of superheroes, and I was reading through that. Like, I was learning about characters like the Agents of Thunder. I was learning about characters like the Flaming, not the Flaming Carrot, Herbie, the Fat Fury, things like that, without ever hitting a comic book shop. I literally was just reading this encyclopedia, and then I finally started seeing the pages of these things. I mean, and it was just kind of cool putting 2 and 2 together.
My parents were my mother still is antique dealers, and they bought out a mess. I mean, there must have been 3,000-4,000 comics, old Dell comics, a lot of the old Duck comics, which you want to talk about some interesting art history. Some of the artists who did some of the Duck comics, and I know you're like Donald Duck and shit. Yeah.
Let me Wally Wood.
Oh, man.
That's all I need to
say his name.
I'm just
love
saying.
Wally
You're
Wood.
asking. Look who you're talking to, Max. Remember, I ended up reading Agents of Thunder. How many people can actually tell you who they are? And that was some dark shit. Okay, for those, Agents of Thunder was kind of like this, not quite Justice League team, but it was like a government organization. And one of the characters they had was like their version of the Flash. And every time he used his powers, it ended up aging him. He actually had to wear a mask of his old face because whenever he took it off, he was like, from using his powers, like aged him to like 80 years old.
Some good characters in there. And Alex, Alex Ross loves shit like that. He loves taking, my problem. That's a little bit of my problem with DC as it really stands outside of, say, like, now, mind you, in the statement I'm about to make, I do not incorporate any of the Batman animated, Superman animated, or Justice League Unlimited, or any of the Justice League War and the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Are we just talking comics?
DC should have fucking died years ago.
Like, just closed shop?
Yeah. Dude, or something fresh.
Well, they do reboot
Frank Miller ended their stories.
Well, don't get me started on Frank Miller. You want to freaking get me ranting? There's not many comic book legends that will piss me off, and Frank Miller is in the top 3 and occasionally rotates.
But you're not ignoring him.
Well, you can't ignore him.
No, not and share the same space. No, that's I really, once I read his Batman, the old decrepit, the old Superman with the big beard.
Well, no. Okay.
And all that. It just,
Frank Miller.
That was, to me, that was an honorable end to characters that just, and listen, I am absolutely not saying anything. These are good characters. They've always been good characters. That's why they've stuck around. But how many times can you take that character and just start over from scratch and feed us the same spoonful? Eventually, it's all going to come back to Frank Miller's end.
You have not. They actually have done it. What they're calling it absolute, and the absolute comics are.
Yeah, and Marvel called it New Universe, and DC's done it at least 4 times within my lifetime.
This is smart. This absolute thing, they're doing it smart because it is a parallel universe. So it is not a new continuity. It is not a it's not a reboot like 0 Hour or Crisis of Infinite Earths. It's basically Darkseid made a pocket dimension that supposedly he fucked up with. He's fucking with. And so, for example, Bruce Wayne, poor. His mom is still alive. His dad was killed in a public shooting. And that's what kind of inspired him. He's still not killing. But like, if you saw the picture of him, where it has this weird bat symbol, it's like, what the fuck is this fat bat on his chest? They gave him a reason.
If they've got good story,
and they gave it a good reason too, and it's a good story. It is a good story.
Well, that's been my problem, and that's when I say, and Dens, I'm sorry, I'm being a little bit facetious when I say DC should have died.
And
but
Alan Moore ended Superman. Alan Moore actually wrote the last issue of Superman for the man who has everything.
That's all you gotta say. If the wizard put his hand in the cauldron, then
But that was in the 80s as well, when they were ending the whole Earth 2 thing. It's been done. They've ended it. You could say you could stop collecting. Some people say the final story with Batman was written by Dennis O'Neil, with him going up against Ra's al Ghul, and that was in the 70s. So they've given us endings.
That might be a good argument. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that DC should have died and its characters died at any one point. There's ladders where you talk about O'Neill and the Ra's al Ghul, I can't ever say his name.
Here's my thing. DC was smart for a while, and they did something brave in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm probably going to say something that's going to piss you off. I loved Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. I loved for a while. At one point, there was a new Green Arrow, Connor Hawke, a new Flash, Wally West. Wally West was Flash for over a decade.
Yeah.
There was
and he had some, Flash. It's just, listen, I'll tell you one thing that kind of makes it and this isn't, I don't want to change the subject with this, but one thing Disney did when they bought Marvel was they said, no new characters. None. This is it. What you've got, work with what you have. No new characters. DC should have took that on at least 30 years ago.
Well, what I was saying is, I like the fact, though, that they actually had removed the old guard and rotated in a new guard.
But they could have done that. Well, but
they were doing that. Donna Troy was
acting rotate it, or was natural progression to keep the story?
But that's the thing. So, that's what DC has to do. That's why DC does do progression, but that's also why they have to reboot their universes every now and then, because, like Marvel Universe, Peter Parker has perpetually not aged, even though he's been through so many eras. Why the hell they've never made Peter Parker a web designer, I will never know. That they've just left that joke leaving there for ages.
I mean, why we get this? Every bit of it is outside of the comic book world, and it branches into real life.
Yeah.
They've got to redo it every few years to keep their copyright valid, so they can maintain control of the character.
See, that's why DC relaunches. Marvel never did hasn't done a hard. Finally, normally they did finally do a reboot ish with their Ultimate Universe, and then they also did the whole thing with the conversions. But
they ruin it for everybody. You know, if Batman had gone like he should have into public domain, then you could have had other. Now, I don't want to say that I want to see some of that Pooh Bear or Steamboat, Willie horror movies that they put out, because those are just straight AI slop. But actually, the Pooh Bear was kind of good.
But I've heard Popeye the Slayer Man is pretty hard to watch.
That's just, get some good stories. If it enters the public domain, then other people could say, hey, you know what? I can take it. I've had a story that I've wrote about Batman years ago, but nobody ever paid attention. Now's my chance. So you rob other people of these stories when you perpetuate this copyright crap. And I'm all for, owning your work. That copyright is not crap.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hold on to it and you work the system to where it never enters public domain, all of us are getting robbed of new and fresh stories that, I want to see somebody do a Cybertronian Batman or some shit.
Just remember, in about 19 years, that's when it starts. You know what happens in 19 years? Namor goes public domain.
Really?
Submariner issue 1 came out in 1939.
I'm trying to remember. I know that I've read, there was a reissue that I read of that.
But I'm just saying, think about that for a second. So technically in 19 years, what you're talking about will start happening.
What other but Batman was supposed to enter in like 5 or 6 years ago, wasn't he?
Batman. It's 100 years, isn't it?
I don't think it's that. You're gonna make me see. I'm up here talking all this shit, and I don't know nothing. Why are you listening to anything?
Batman first appeared. Looking up right there, Detective Comics number 27, March 30th, 1939.
Let's see what else is gone.
It's not Mickey Mouse, unfortunately, Abby. It is Steamboat Willie. That was his first appearance. Using that character, that design was Steamboat Willie. Just gotta. Well, actually,
wow. Sound and Fury by William Faulkner. A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Mickey Mouse, we all know that. Steamboat Willie. Blackmail by Alfred Hitchcock, which is his worst movie. Popeye, Tintin.
That actually could be interesting.
I'm surprised if somebody does a fucking Tintin horror movie. I am going to.
I don't want a Tintin horror movie, but you know what I would like to have though? You could actually have Tintin now actually cross over with Doctor Who, for example.
I mean, Doctor Who can pretty much cross over with anybody.
No,
Doctor Who.
But they could actually use Tintin, though. Imagine how cool that would be. Or
I'm surprised that, if he entered public domain, I'm really kind of surprised I haven't heard of somebody doing something.
I liked that CGI movie they did with the animated one.
It was a good movie.
I don't think, unfortunately, audience, a lot of this modern day, I don't think a lot of the modern day, definitely in the US. I truly can appreciate.
Tintin is huge in France.
Oh, of course, in France. So is Asterix, that Viking thing, which is
Asterix.
Yes, I told you. I
Now
told
that
you.
is one live action that I completely I'm sold on. You know
They've
what?
made
That
many of them. They've made quite a
they're
few.
they're a fucking hoot. Oh, I used to get those comics. Yeah, Germany as well.
So
It
Tintin would be. I would love to see a proper Tintin live action.
I would like to see Spielberg do a second part to his CGI.
Oh, I had a weird thought the other day, speaking of Spielberg, that only you would appreciate. Because I've been
only me.
Yes, because I have been deep diving so much into Hammer films lately with all my collecting. I think there's another world out there where in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Belloc was played by Christopher Lee. And I think that would have been amazing.
Yeah, except I don't believe you'd ever get Christopher Lee to agree to play a Vichy French collaborator.
I think he would have had fun with that. It was after Man with the Golden Gun. He already did that, so.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Nazi in that, was he? What? Do I remember?
No, he wasn't a Nazi in that one. I think that would have been his biggest problem with actually teaming up with the Nazis. You're right.
Yeah, that's that I can't remember any film I ever seen with Christopher Lee where he played some bad guys.
Well,
but he never went that far. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I've watched a lot of Hammer films, but man, you want to talk my strong point at Canon films. That's where you want to talk about films I know about. Canon is my jam.
Again, I was just because I was researching for my reviews, so I started deep diving into the whole Christopher Lee stuff. Then, of course, the Peter Cushing stuff.
Isn't he great?
He is gorgeous.
And the Fez is perfect. I could not believe I found this guy, and there was like a dozen of them. There wasn't that many, but there was more than a few.
I didn't get the second Invisible Man figure because I thought the first one was perfect.
Yeah, I don't. The only ones I care about was I bought. I mean, Karloff in this role, I had to have him because he's got a fez on.
I'm just saying, I
bought
love that
the sarcophagus set that had the mummy figure because I wanted to reenact issue 49 of G.I. Joe, where Destro and Mindbender pulling the mummy out of the casket. So I wanted to do a picture of that with the figures. But that was, I don't know, that the Universal Monsters, I'm kind of hit and miss on what I want. But, you know, if I get Cushing, I've got to get Bela Lugosi. So.
No, you get Cushing, you get Lee.
Oh, yeah. Have they done a Lee vampire?
You haven't been watching my channel.
You know, there's so many things that all of you, you're everywhere.
Yes, they have a Lee.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, who am I thinking of? Who did?
I can't remember who played Van Helsing in the Universals, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Peter Cushing is the best one.
See, I blame Talib. I'm just not thinking right.
Also, their Lon Chaney version of the Phantom of the Opera was excellent.
That was a nice fig. The only one that I found of him was the black and white. Same with the Mummy, or not the Mummy. The Invisible Man was the black and white version, and I like color. I like. I don't just, you know, the repaints, they're fine. If you like them, they're great figures. But I guess I'm going to have to go find me a Christopher Lee Dracula. I
mean, there's some good figures on there. One of my favorites was actually I love the NECA, the NECA horror stuff, the Nosferatu. If I was gonna say ones that you should get, would be the Lee, the Cushing, the Phantom of the Opera is very good. The Invisible Man I thought was really well done because of how they handled the invisible gimmick for him.
Yeah, it looked neat.
And then the Nosferatu.
I probably would have bought the Invisible Man if I had found the color version. But there's only two places that I can ever find NECA, and that's the Target, and it's an hour north, and the Best Buy right next to it. Those are that's it. Other than that, I got to order it. I just had to order one the other day, the Elkhorn for my D&D. What do you think? Listen, you keep up pretty well with what NECA's doing. Are we going to get the D&D Wizard?
They should. They've been pretty good on completing those things.
If they're the only ones.
If not, you could always get a Mythic Legion one.
No,
scale.
I can't start another. I started one thing. I'm a completionist. I need.
No, I will say this. Actually, the biggest thing I will say about Legion figures is they don't trigger I want it all.
Yeah, because you can't do it.
But you don't.
You can't. Hold it. You got what? 10 years.
You feel. You know what I'm saying is as like right now with especially this Necromonicus line is the way they do some of these figures are actually some of the. I wish they would have and could have. They're doing it in this line. Like the painting is superior. Like if there was ever a time to get in on it, it's like getting into Star Trek when Deep Space Nine started. I don't have time to learn all this lore. Trust me, when you get with Deep Space Nine, you're good to go. You're getting a whole new batch of lore and a whole bunch of new stuff happening anyway. You'll appreciate.
You had me at Dax kissing chicks. I'm there. What'd you do, Talib? You broke me. I'm broke. I'm old. Took advantage of a crippled old man.
Still pissed off when they killed Jadzia off.
That was a good series.
Oh, DS9.
They ended it well. They ended it well too. It ended the way it needed to end. Not maybe the way we wanted it to, but the way it needed to.
DS9 was basically all right. We just did everything. Everyone got their Star Trek, the original series. You got your wit and wonder with Next Generation. Let's do the rest of the shit that people have always wanted to see in the Star Trek universe. So let's have a war. And they did it all without the Borg.
They just, I don't know. I couldn't get into the new stuff. It's just not Star Trek to me. You know, Roddenberry had a system how he wrote. You know, you'd have an arc episode, filler episode, character episode, and then you kind of repeat that.
I'm gonna say something I want to say something that's gonna hurt you. Next Generation got better after Roddenberry died.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry. Once they lost Roddenberry, watch The Captains. If you haven't seen The Captains,
I don't know if I would put that entirely just on the passing of Roddenberry. I think that nobody believed that first season of Next Generation sucked. I watched the first episode and
it hurts.
I was like, the fuck is this shit? This ain't my Star Trek. You know, I had Star Trek, the animated series. I had the original Star Trek. I was like, where's the Shat, man? And you know, it's just, this ain't my hashtag not my Star Trek. And I came back season 2 and then into season 3. When they changed doctors and then when they killed Denise Richards, Not Denise Richards. The chick who got with Data.
Yeah, I know. Denise
yeah.
Crosby.
Crosby, thank you. I can't. Bless her heart. If she's ever listening, you're a great person. I don't appreciate your thespianism, and that's obviously my failing.
Good in Suits.
I never watched Suits, so I'll take your word for it.
Ooh. Oh, let me tell dude, you missed out on a fun show. The main guy, the guy who played the main character in that one, I'm blanking on his name, but he was done in one of the worst. He starred in one of the worst superhero movies ever, and his character was so goddamn awesome, you forgot that he played the Spirit.
What?
Yes.
Holy crap, he didn't he?
He did. And that's how good he was in Suits, that he was so good that he got typecast as being that awesome that the Spirit was
I hate having egg on my face. I love that movie.
You
and
would.
Scarlett and ScarJo just
well, okay, Scarlett.
She was in her prime.
Yes. Okay, that's a whole different conversation. I'm still mad as hell. Well, no, I don't know if my wife's still watching this. I was going to make something about that Michael Bay is hated. Why people hate Michael Bay?
Because he didn't stick to making movies like The Rock, and he fucked with our childhood.
No, because apparently in the movie The Island, Scarlett Johansson wanted to do a topless scene, and he said no.
Fuck Michael Bay, you piece of shit.
It's true. Look it up.
Yeah, I've seen that. Then it's the reason why she was like, and it stuck with me, so I've never done one since. Yeah, thanks, Michael Bay. That okay.
Would be my wife now noticing that. Yes, dear.
I have a powerful imagination.
I want to point that out. That's my wife. That is my wife.
I mean,
she knows.
What noble effort. Thank you, Michael Bay. We would never
I love you,
want
Megan.
to see a woman debauch herself with public displays of nudity.
That movie came out before I was dating you, by the way. I'm now
all my
married and I
ScarJo
adore
feelings are before you, baby.
I'm about to get my ass kicked. I love you, Meg.
Oh. That's one of my favorite names.
I call her Megan John.
I had a parakeet named Megan. I loved that bird.
I think on that note, I think I'm going to wrap things up. So before I get my ass kicked, so
I mean it. I'm being serious. I love that bird. It was a great bird.
I'm sure it was a fantastic bird. I want to appreciate everybody who watched tonight. I want to say thank you to Talib, Abi, everybody. Thank you so much. Exactly. And the stream ends abruptly. You know what?
You don't hit that like button. Your mama's a hoe.
Hit that like button because I don't know if I'm coming back after this one. Please hit my subscribe button for those of you who are new here. Go check out my NECA reviews. I think you'll appreciate my Invisible Man review because I actually reenact the scene from the movie. I kid you not, I actually do. It was pretty cool.
I like your reviews.
So,
they're a hoot.
Thank you.
You sound like a salesman.
I am
you
a salesman.
Do that for a living.
I do. I sell wood stoves in North Carolina.
You do not. Wood stoves sell themselves in North Carolina. You just stand there and look pretty. Shut up.
And on that note, everybody, thank you so much. And until next time, take care. Peace.
Peace out.